Good morning, East. It's Wednesday, December 7th. Please stand if you are able for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome back to Torch TV. I'm Eric Walker here with this week's announcements. Today is the last day to get your formal ticket. Tickets can be purchased in the bookstore for $15. The bookstore is open from 8 to 1. Formal will take place December 10th at Southside Elementary from 8 to 11 p.m. The esports team is hosting a Super Smash Bros. Tournament today in the Orange Room right after school. You can sign up using the QR code on the posters around the school. Also this weekend, North Drama is holding its winter musical, Elf. Performances will be Friday and Saturday at 7:30 and Sunday at 2:30 in the North Auditorium. Tickets can be purchased for $8 on the Seat Yourself website. The Columbus East and Central Choirs will hold their winter concert next Wednesday, the 14th at 7 p.m. in the East Auditorium. Tickets can be purchased for $5 online at the columbuseastchoirs.org or for $7 at the door. The East Holiday Band Concert will be happening on the 19th at 7 p.m. in the East Auditorium. You can purchase tickets on the Seat Yourself website for $5.50 or at the door for $7. For a senior project, Oliver Johnson is creating a replication of the Torch logo out of household items. Please bring donations of bottle caps, random plastic, bread ties, pipe cleaners, and pencil parts to the office. Now let's take a look at past sports results as well as what's coming up this weekend.
This past weekend, our boys basketball team won against Trinity Lutheran High. Varsity won 66-36. Our wrestling team also had a great weekend with wins against New Palestine High, Jennings County, Tell City High, Jeffersonville, and Evansville. Coming up at home, tomorrow our wrestlers go up against Franklin at 6:30. On Friday, our boys basketball team competes with Bedford North Lawrence. The JV game is at 6 and the varsity game is at 7:30. Make sure to go out and support our O's. Now, here's from Matthew Degner with the Matthew Minute.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Matthew Minute, where news topics are presented in a brief format. I'm your host, Matthew Degner, and we're starting off discussing abstinence. Indonesia has criminalized sex outside of marriage in a unanimous vote. This new law not only applies to Indonesian residents, but also tourists. On top of the law against the physical act, speaking out in public is also a criminal offense. Some of the other atypical laws and punishments the largest Muslim majority nation hold include full bans on alcohol and gambling, as well as public floggings for crimes such as homosexuality. Back in the U.S., the Secret Service is yet again connecting China to more of America's issues. Chinese hackers linked to the Chinese government have reportedly stolen at least $20 million in taxpayer relief. Overall, an improper distribution rate of around 20% has been reported on the $872.5 billion in federal funds distributed as COVID relief. These state-sponsored hackers are nowhere near the first connected with the Chinese government, but do reinforce the ever-present threat of cybercrime. In Indiana news, the Indiana State Police arrested Brandon Crockett, a Lebanon man with a warrant for drug charges. After a 5-hour standoff between Mr. Crockett and the police, where a SWAT team ended up using tactical techniques to flush him out of his hiding, everyone in the house was unharmed and there were no other casualties. Finally, a Columbus man has been arrested after unsuccessfully fleeing an officer on foot. The suspect had a warrant for drug charges, and after the CPD officer approached his RV and issued a verbal warning, the suspect proceeded to sprint into a cornfield. The suspect was later taken into Columbus Regional Hospital and is being charged with resisting law enforcement on top of his outstanding charges. That wraps up this week's top stories. I'm Matthew Degner, and remember to stay informed.
Thank you for joining us for this week's announcements. From Lydia, Matthew, and the rest of the Torch TV crew, I'm Eric Walker. Remember to take care of yourself, others, and the place. And as always, try to be the best part of someone's day.